Hello, my name is Kevin and I watch movies, and today is Global Film Day. And so I'm going to run down 5 of my favorite international films, and at the end of each segment I'll provide the streaming option for that film. And if you don't have that streaming service, that's okay, because you can rent all of these movies on Amazon. First up is Cinema Paradiso. Cinema Paradiso is about a filmmaker who returns to a Sicilian village after learning of the death of an old friend. The film is mostly set as flashbacks of the filmmaker's youth, reminiscing of the time spent with his friend Alfredo, who is a projectionist at Cinema Paradiso. Alfredo acts as a fatherly figure for the young Salvatore and teaches him to love film. It is a story of friendship, pursuing your dreams, nostalgia, and an overall love letter to cinema in general. I watched this in my World Cinema Studies class in college, and it's always stuck with me. I highly recommend it. It also won 2 major awards. It won Best Foreign Film for the Golden Globes and Academy Awards in 1989. You can catch this movie on HBO Max. Next on the list is The Raid Redemption. The Raid Redemption is an action film that comes out of Indonesia. The basic IMDb synopsis for this movie is a SWAT team becomes trapped in a tenement run by a ruthless mobster and his army of killers and thugs. Basically from there, it's like an hour and 15 minutes of non-stop ridiculous action. This is not a cinematic classic like Cinema Paradiso, but it is super fun and a great popcorn flick. I highly recommend checking it out if you like martial arts films. You can catch this one on Netflix. The third film on the list is The Cabinet of Dr Caligari. The premise of this film is a hypnotist named Dr. Caligari uses a somnambulist, Cesar, to commit murders. It explores themes of authority and conformity, living a double life, and is a picture of the German psyche in post-World War I Germany. This film uses an art style known as German Expressionism, which was really big coming out of World War I. This is a very early entry into the horror genre and influenced countless films, especially in the horror and film noir genres. This one might be hard for some to get through because it's a silent film, but I can't recommend it enough. This movie is for anyone who likes creepy stuff and film history buffs for sure. Filmmakers like Alfred Hitchcock, Tim Burton, and Ridley Scott were all heavily influenced by this art style. And so if you're into those filmmakers, check this one out. It's in the public domain, so you can watch it on YouTube for free. Another film heavily influenced by German Expressionism is Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth takes place 5 years after the Spanish Civil War, during the early years of the Francoist dictatorship. The young stepdaughter of a sadistic military officer escapes to a fantasy world. She meets a faun and he guides her through 3 mystical tasks she must complete to reclaim her fantasy forest kingdom. Don't let the premise fool you, this movie is dark and creepy. Not quite a horror movie, more a thriller with spooky elements. I love this movie because it tosses the viewer between the terrifying fantasy world and the horrors of reality. Aside from the thrilling story, the makeup for the monsters and cinematography are next level, winning Academy Awards for both categories. This film was also nominated for Best Original Screenplay and Best Foreign Language Film. You can check out Pan's Labyrinth on Netflix. The last film on this list is another highly influential film, Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo. This film, according to IMDb, is about a crafty ronin who comes to town divided by 2 criminal gangs and decides to play them against each other to free the town. If you've never seen a samurai movie, this is the one that I recommend you check out. Yojimbo specifically and Kurosawa generally have had major influences on film and television over the years. The spaghetti westerns of the 60s, John Belushi's samurai character on SNL in the 70s, Usagi Yojimbo, who appeared in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The 1996 film Last Man Standing starring Bruce Willis is a Prohibition-era remake of the film. And the cartoon series Samurai Jack in the 2000s was heavily influenced by Kurosawa. I'd check this one out specifically if you want to dive into Japanese filmmaking, samurai films, or if you're a fan of spaghetti westerns and action movies. Yojimbo is currently streaming on HBO Max and the Criterion channel if you happen to have that. I hope you've enjoyed this rundown of 5 of my favorite international films. If you did enjoy it, please like and share. My main goal with this page is to create a community of people discussing film, and so I always prioritize responding to the comments. So leave a comment with your favorite international film, and I would love to talk with you about that. Until next time, I'll see you later.